Well, hello there, everyone, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here because somebody wanted me to do a reading on Mingyu, so from 17, and I'm going to do a reading on him. What I've researched about him was that apparently he is now a brand ambassador of Dior. Congratulations, we always love brand ambassadors. And apparently, he gave a fortune to his parents. Apparently, it was a lot, so I'm not sure if 17 is making bank or not like that. But apparently, it is more than what YG has or is worth altogether. So that's very impressive. Now, with that being said, let's find out what's going on with Mingyu. This card is going to represent Mingyu. Apparently, I don't have the main male card in this deck, so I cannot use that in here like I did for Rosalia. So with that being said, we're just going to shuffle the cards to figure out what's going on with his career, his love life, his life period. Let's just see what's going on around him, the energy that's going around Mingyu. Okay, and with that being said, I think I'm done shuffling. Okay. Mingyu, what is going on? 2 females showed up. Mingyu can't be in a polygamous relationship. I mean, a polyamorous relationship now, is he? Anyway, let me stop spreading rumors about K-pop idols. What I do see what's over as an overall energy around Mingyu. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with 17 or what 17 has going on in their lives, or if Mingyu has a solo project coming up, or if he's ever gone solo. But what I do see is some not so positive energy around him. So where am I going to start? The best thing I could say is, instead of there being 2 females in this, I'm going to say this represents a mature woman, somebody that he definitely respects, and that could be his mother, because like we just recently heard, he just gave money to his parents. So because of that, that's something he's accomplished or that he has under control. He loves his parents. He thinks about his family. So because of that, he makes sure to give back to them. Pay respect, to pay homage to where he's come from and where he is, basically. But what I do see above his head, which is along the same energy in his current moment, is a sly fox. Now, I'm not sure what this fox could be thinking that they're getting away with, but it is something that I'm going to have to come back to. Maybe I'm going to have to find out I'm definitely going to have to find out what the problem card is. But what is immediately before and in front of him is what he is looking back at, because this is his present future. So he definitely sees this coming, but he's not quite. But it's something that he thinks he's already accomplished. But he's in the process of accomplishing, which is change. So maybe he's trying to change a new leaf, become like they say, a better man. Maybe he's maturing, and that's a literal change that's going in his life. So maybe because of that, maybe he's reached this certain status and acclaim, and because of that, he is taking the time to really, the best way I can say is revel in this period of change. Really take the time to, I guess the best way to say is really take the time to do the change and really embrace the change, go with the flow, don't fight it, take it for its lessons and what he has to learn from it. Because what's in his future, but he doesn't quite see coming because he's too busy focusing on the change, is imprisonment, which means he could be getting stuck in his mind. And maybe that's what this fox means. Maybe his mind tries to trick him and deceive him. Maybe he thinks of things that he could or should do, but maybe they're just not the best interest for him. And because of that, maybe that's how would we say? A fox could maybe be impulsive. Somebody could make reckless decisions. I'm not sure or know anything about Mingyu, but this imprisonment card is not a very good card. I'm not going to say he's going to literally end up in jail, but maybe he could literally put himself in this space mentally where he feels like he can't get out of. But he doesn't quite, like I said, he doesn't quite see this approaching him. This is in his future, but he's so busy focusing on all the things that he can accomplish because he has change. And because he's doing change and going with the flow and taking the lessons as they are, he doesn't quite see how he could get himself entangled into something that he's not quite aware of. Because what I see in now I'm going to look at his outer energy that is in his outskirts, but still in his energy. We're going to start with this block card, focusing on the future and what this imprisonment could be. It could be something that, like I said, he could have had some problems with his mind being not so positive or not so productive in thoughts that maybe be impulsive and do things, what he wants to do or do it his way. And because of that, now he's overcome this in his near future and is now able to see that he could have put some roadblocks or could have came in his own way. So because of that, he's going to learn to not be so much of a self-sabotager or literally coming in the way of his own blessings, basically, because he's doing good things, but then he could also be doing some things that are also not the best. And because of that, it could get in the way of the things that he could truly accomplish and really truly be in his potential. And what I also see in his future, who knows? I hope this is not true. I hope I'm literally just reading into this because an indirect influence, because I was just like, how does this child fit? There's no way that Mingyu is going to show up with some baby mama, right? Baby mom drama. But on the diagonal influence, we have the baby. We have Mingyu. And then we have a privileged woman, which just basically means somebody that is in his career field, somebody that's within his age group, and somebody that is well desired and has their stuff together and is an accomplished woman. And because of that, maybe that is somebody he could be dating on the secret and on the side. And like I said, maybe he could be doing things that is impulsive and maybe they just weren't being too safe. And so now there could be a little pregnancy scare. I don't know. I hope I'm reading into that wrong. I so hope I'm reading into that wrong, because that will definitely be something that will come up and put a block in his career for sure. Because then he's going to have to choose. Do I continue with 17 or do I continue with this woman who I thought I love and who I may love, but just may not love as much as my career? It becomes that thing, and then it's like 17 isn't 17 without all their members. So because of that, I also see too what it could be an indirect influence is poverty, which is in his mindset. So like I said earlier with this fox right here, his mind could have been or things that was weighing him down is maybe something was going on with his parents, and so because of that he was able to gather this fortune of money to be able to lend to his parents because they needed it. And because of that, maybe that was something impulsive he did, but but then also when you kind of realize how much money it is, comparing it to like one of the big three companies, but I already said YG's kind of slipping. So the fact that he has more than YG is kind of not surprising. But just the fact that he was able to give more than what YG is worth, even though he's not a part of YG, you also kind of have to question, did he get that from 17? Is 17 making bank like that? And if they aren't, then where did you get this mass amount of fortune to be able to give to your parents? Not saying there's anything wrong with that. Hey, I love people that care for their parents. It is actually an admirable quality. So because of that, I just see that maybe there's something weighing him down. Maybe that was something that was weighing him down. Because of that, maybe he felt like he needed to do something quick, maybe ask for an advance. I'm not sure how K-pop idols can ask about their salary or about what they're making, but because of that, something was just weighing down heavy on him that just wasn't giving him like the best mental. And because of that, that sneaky little fox was there, and it just was maybe like eating away at him and something that he couldn't get his mind off of. Now, what I'm going to pick, listen, like I said, everything I say is allegedly. I am not very familiar with Mingyu or 17. I'm familiar with like some of 17's music, but I'm not like familiar with all those members of 17. I'm not even quite sure who Mingyu is in particular. But I do know, because somebody did correct me, that it was Mingyu, Lisa, and V that all happened to work for Celine. And if it's not V, it was Jen, but I think they said V. So because of that, he does have interactions with other K-pop idols and interactions with the opposite sex. So it's not far-fetched to say that he could have met somebody and fallen in love, and things happen. Things can be reckless, but let's see what's bothering him. Oh, okay. Now, a death doesn't literally always have to mean a death. But like I said earlier, when I said that he was so busy and focused on the change that's going on in his life, and so gung-ho about taking on the challenges that life basically brings him, and maybe metamorph and turn into this new person now that he's gone through this, maybe like what you would call like a dark night of the soul. Now that he's overcome this, he is ready to broadcast these changes that he's made to himself. And that's maybe that could just be the problem, because that's what a coffin represents. Basically, something had to die for something else to grow. And if he is so focused on change and doesn't really see how he could just be his own block or get in his own way mentally, or just by the things that he does, because he's so focused on doing things or taking on things just for the sake of it's going to be change or it's going to make him a better person. Who knows? Maybe it could literally just be that he is in a relationship, and now that he has met somebody that he loves, let me stop joking. Maybe because he has met somebody that he loves, he could be like, this woman makes him want to be the best person that he could be. So because of that, he wants to not like change for her, but just change for the betterment of himself, because now he basically feels maybe like whole and complete and like everything's together. I got my career, I got this girl that I love, and what could possibly go wrong in this particular moment? I'm looking out for my family, 17 doing great. Like, you just cannot just be thinking of anything bad possibly happening. Just so focused on everything is great. Let's see, I'm going to shuffle the cards. And let's see what the overall energy is going to be for him. Okay, one more shuffle. I just want to make sure I really shuffle these cards before I pick the final card or final outcome at the very bottom. Okay, what is the final outcome for Mingyu in his career, his love life, just basically his life, period? What is the outcome? Okay. His outcome is signing contracts. Could be writing letters, could be in communication with somebody. Who knows? Maybe this could be his company. Maybe this could be him signing more deals and doing more things and basically making more money. Who knows? Maybe he has made a contract or some deal or has signed his name to something. So that way, maybe it was like maybe the money that he took out. I mean, I'm not sure how much 17 is worth, but maybe that's the money that he took out. He had to sign his name to something and basically be indebted or I don't want to say reimburse, but like give back to who he give back to what who he owes money to. Basically, I'm not exactly sure. I'm almost tempted to pick one more card just to make this make a little bit more sense about what this contract card could symbolize in all of this. Okay, I think I'm just going to pick a card from the top. It has something to do with his career. Contract, I'm not sure if 17 is, I'm not sure if they have contracts getting ready to come to end and if they're in the process of thinking about if they're going to re-sign or if maybe some members are going to re-sign and some aren't. I'm not quite sure what's going on with 17 and their contracts in particular. But what I do see with Mingyu, I do see that when it comes to his career, maybe there are going to be some doors and opportunities that are going to open up to him that are going to bring change to his career that he is so looking forward to and is expecting and anticipating. So maybe there is something on the horizon that you, the fans, do not know about, and soon he's going to maybe make a public announcement about what he has what he's gotten, I'm not going to say what he's gotten himself into, but what he's basically has been doing or a project that he has been working on, and hopefully it is something that is very lucrative because I definitely see that this whatever he's anticipating is something that has to do with his career. Maybe it could be the fact that he's going into acting. Maybe he's going to do some solo endeavors. I'm not quite sure what Mingyu is thinking or what Mingyu has been talking about. But that's all I can find out about what's going on with Mingyu in this particular moment. I do see that there happens to be a woman in his life, not like his inner circle, but in his circle. Somebody he knows, somebody who he talks to. Maybe not somebody he's in direct communication with on a daily basis, but maybe they could pass each other. And because of that, all I do see though is that he's focused on his career, and really he's got to maybe get out of his mind a little bit more. Listen, being creative and always thinking and being in your head is not a bad thing, but sometimes overthinking can really weigh you down, and it's also wasted or overused energy because it takes a lot for your brain to function and work. So because of that, it could just be mentally draining or physically draining just for him to be a K-pop idol and also have what's going on in his mind and what he's thinking about also, and still have to perform. And also, who knows if he's eating properly or even getting the proper amount of sleep, and if they are still working like dogs. Basically, that's how I see it, because they really do run K-pop idols ragged. But hopefully he is in good health. I didn't see any bad cards to come in here. I just see that there is a lot going on in his mental, but I do see that in the future he will overcome that. And who knows, maybe that burden and that worrisome was about his family, and he was able to finally take a weight off of his shoulder, and maybe a load off of his family's shoulder by donating, well, not donating, but by giving them this money, and also by being a brand ambassador as well for Dior. That's also another resource, another source of income for him. So because of that, he is, like I said, making contracts and signing his name to things. I'm not sure if this is the first time he's ever been a brand ambassador, or if he's ever been a brand ambassador for a non-Korean company. But like I said, he's definitely on the path of doing change and taking on the change. But he also doesn't quite also see how he could also possibly get in his own way. And who knows, maybe it could just be the things that he was thinking about and bogged him down. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I definitely do see that there isn't too much negative energy around him, honestly. Just a block card and what's in his near future that's quite literally he doesn't seem to be paying attention to, because he just wants to focus on his career and the things that he can accomplish and the things and places that he can go and what he can do and what he can accomplish. So because of that, he is ready for a change and to shake it up, basically. And because of that, that's what Mingyu seems to have his eyes on particularly. So maybe he's this changed new man and showing off his changed new ways. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading about Mingyu and his career, and I guess his apparent love life, but it was definitely about his career, where he's thinking about going, and definitely on his life and basically on his mental. Because that does seem to be the one thing that is changing him down. And maybe he's just a little bit too stressed and anxious about this change and about the direction of his career, that it could just be something that just weighs him down. Maybe the poverty could symbolize, man, I want to be able to spend my money wisely, or I want to keep working or keep doing these things so that way I never have to be impoverished. Or maybe I want to keep making money so that way I have generational wealth, so that way when I do so choose to get out of the K-pop industry and no longer am a part of 17, and I choose to make a life with some partner that I find love with, and we so do happen to have a child, I have money that can still support this child. And that child never has to worry about being broke or poor or having to work as hard, but I will still teach her or them some work ethics, so that way they can keep it going as well. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and please, if you have not yet, please do subscribe. If you have not subscribed, that would be wonderful. And hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button, and that will let you know whenever we go live or when we post a video. And if you like this video, or you've made it this far into it, please do give us a thumbs up. And if there's any other K-pop idols you would like me to read on, please do leave a comment at the very bottom. And with that being said, as you see running at the very bottom of the screen, if you would like a personal tarot reading, you can book an appointment with Lady Crone at www.thecronetreasurechest.com. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and sunflowers!